Alright, so today we're gonna talk about the RGB backplates I've been making for GPUs, uh, what exactly they are, where they go on the PC, and how to install them. Now we're gonna be doing this because my friend brought up a point. He's really interested in these backplates. He thinks they look amazing. He would want to get one, but he doesn't know what they're actually for. He doesn't know how to install it, and he said that I should make a tutorial video explaining to him and to others so that they know exactly what these backplates are for and how to use them and how to hook them up correctly in your PC, because some people aren't as tech savvy as others, and they may need a little help and a little bit of a tutorial to show them exactly how to set one of these backplates up. So I hope you guys enjoy the video, and without further ado, we're going to install a custom backplate that I made for my own PC on one of my GPUs. So here we got my custom backplate I made for my PC. You just simply put the double-sided tape on the back in places where you know it's going to make contact with the stock backplate on your graphics card, or places where it won't interfere with components on the PCB of your graphics card if you do not have a stock backplate, because you don't want to rip them off in case you ever want to remove the graphics card. So here you can see these are my two GPUs I got on my PC. They still have the stock backplates on them, so I'm just going to place my custom one on top of them. It's going to stick to them with the double-sided tape, and that's pretty much all that there is to that. If you don't have a backplate, make sure the double-sided tape is on top of screw heads connecting the heatsink to your GPU. Next, you're going to want to run the wire back through the grommet in your PC case to the back of your case, so that you can hook it up to either a controller, or you can hook it up to the extension cable going to an RGB header on your motherboard. So here you see me plugging the extension cable I was talking about earlier into the RGB header on the motherboard. Now you're going to want to make sure it's plugged in right. There's a 12 volt pin on the header, and on the cable itself there's an arrow. And all you have to do is line those up and you're good to go. Alright, so as you can see, the backplate is installed. It looks real nice. PC turns on, backplate turns on. Installed successfully, and it looks real nice. Alright, so we got that installed. The backplate's on. Easy to install again. You just double-side tape it to the GPU that's already in your PC, and you plug in the connection, and it lights up and works. But I do have to let you know, on my motherboard, I use a 4-pin RGB header that's on my motherboard already. If you are planning to do the same and use a 4-pin RGB header that's on your motherboard, you will have to let me know ahead of time, because that uses a different LED strip than my standard backplates do, and uses a different connection than my standard backplates do. Now my standard backplates, as I was talking about, come with an external controller that uses a remote to control the RGBs on the backplate. It plugs in to your power supply via a power SATA cable, and then plugs in to your backplate, and it comes with an extension cable, and it comes with a cable to go from a 3-pin RGB header on your motherboard to the controller, or to the, not the controller, to the backplate. Sorry about that. So again, if you're planning on using a 4-pin RGB header on your motherboard, let me know at a time. Now you may be wondering what's the difference between the 4-pin RGB and the 3-pin RGB. The difference is the 3-pin RGB headers use addressable LEDs, which means each LED can be controlled independently of each other, and the 4-pin doesn't, which means all LEDs have to be the same color throughout the whole strip. Now the advantage of using addressable LEDs is that you can get different effects and patterns to go, whereas with standard RGB, which is the 4-pin one, you can't. They all, again, have to be the same color throughout the whole strip, which kind of limits you, in my opinion. Now, another difference between the two is that the standard 4-pin RGB header is 12 volts and the 3-pin RGB header is 5 volts. So if we try to plug the connector, because they use the same connection, they both have 4 holes for 4 pins on the connection, except one of the pins is missing on the 3-pin RGB header, so only 3 of the wires in this cable get used, and that is the difference between that. And the 4-pin one uses a 12 volt power supply, whereas the 3-pin has a 5 volt power supply. So if you get them mixed up, it can cause you to fry the LEDs and the backplate, which wouldn't be good. So that's why I need to know ahead of time. So I use the right LED strips, making the backplates, and so I send the right connections to you so you can actually use the backplate. I suggest just using the external controller, even if you have a 4-pin RGB header, just because you get more effects, you get different patterns in there. It looks nicer in my opinion, and honestly, they cost the same price, so you might as well, go with what looks better and what's nicer than pay the same price for something that doesn't. The only reason I didn't go that route and use an external controller of mine is because I plan on just having to be a solid color, which is blue, to match my build, and it was easier to hook it up to the motherboard and control it with the software on my computer. Now, I hope this helped you guys understand a little bit more about these backplates, where they go in your computer, how to install them, and a little bit about the LEDs themselves. If you have any more questions, feel free to comment. And again, hope you guys enjoyed the video and have a great day.